Hey, what's up, guys? It's Will here for the Cash Left episode 2. Apologies about last night. I have had updates on my computer which went on most of the night, so just moved over to the Thursday night here. So obviously just myself and my little amigo in the background there. So yeah, she's flat out after being at the beach all day, and exit stage left she goes. So yeah, here to talk about some betting talk for UFC Rochester. Kevin Lee, Rafael dos Anjos. For me, it's a tough card betting. I like parlays this card, and to be honest with you, I like parlays. Kind of most cards, to be honest with you, it's something I always look for is parlays. So, and like I say, my two plays already are parlays, and I've got a couple other ones that I've kind of got in mind. Maybe a prop bet that I quite like. So yeah, I'm going to go and bring up the lines for this one here and see if there's been any kind of big change over the last couple of days. And there's been a few, for being honest with you. Felicia Spencer, like Megan Anderson's went from an underdog to a big favourite. That's kind of interesting. Everybody seems to be talking about on social media. It seems to be talking about Felicia Spencer and her takedowns and this and that. So I would have thought the line might have been a little bit closer than that. I'd still put her as an underdog, definitely. But yeah, it's like I'm looking at the Aspen Ladd line, and that line I think is a little bit too high. Looking at it there, I think the main event is close to is really what it should be. I think we're going to get another opportunity for Kevin Lee to be an underdog again at some point. But as the weeks kind of went on, I kind of quite liked Dos Anjos in the fight. I don't want to say disrespected Dos Anjos. I maybe just didn't think enough about the kind of matchup. And as the fights went on, I've given myself longer to think about it. Then I think Dos Anjos maybe has a really good chance of winning this fight here. So yeah, I'll go quickly through the betting odds. I'll get into some of the chat in a second, guys. Just going through the bottom of the card, Julio Arce's jumped from. I bet him at minus 300, minus 350, I think it was actually. In fact, let me bring up my bets for this week. I know that I've definitely bet him on a parlay. I've not looked in the last couple of days. Back to work after a few weeks off. So getting back into that kind of ground again and kind of forgetting what's kind of going on with everything else. Let me see. Julio Arce, so he was minus 350. And then now he's climbed up all the way to minus 730. Justified, in my opinion. Should be higher. I think he's got a good chance of really getting Arce out of here, Rosa out of here very quickly. Like I said, I just don't think Rosa's a talent in the UFC. Shouldn't. He's an expendable guy. Where Arce, I think, has got a lot of talent kind of everywhere in the game, and he's shown that he can fight tough guys and come through some tough situations. The Zach Cummins line's going up a little bit. Trevin Giles, like I said on my prediction show, that I was very close to betting him, and I've kind of turned my head on that a little bit and went with Zach Cummins, and I'm still round about that. Trevin Giles, I don't think should be that big a favourite, but we'll see how that goes. Minus 255 against Michelle Pereira. I kind of agree with that, to be honest with you. Maybe I'm not the biggest. I don't really see much from Pereira. It really kind of excites me, except for the fact he's a madman and just doing crazy shit everywhere. So, interesting. Herman Cummins, yuck. For me, it would need to be the shot on Ed Herman. I don't. Anybody that wants to take a shot on Ed Herman, I wouldn't really be against that. I just don't think I could do it. Charles Jourdain against Desmond Green. I really like this Charles Jourdain guy. I really do. I actually think he's going to be a very good fighter. I like watching his fights. I watched beforehand. I watched his fights. I said that I think Des might be a little bit too big, too strong. But this Charles Jourdain, I think, is a really solid prospect. Looking forward to seeing more of him like I say, I went with Desmond Green, but would it surprise me if Jordan came out here as the weeks went on? No, I think he's not a bad shot of an underdog play. Dawson and Trezano's getting closer. Dawson's plus 110. Trezano's minus 130. I picked Trezano. A lot of people are on Dawson. I can see why. They're relentless wrestling. I just think Trezano's the better, more well-rounded mixed martial artist. And I think that's going to pay dividends over 15 minutes. Might not turn out that way. Davy Hamos minus 470. Pretty confident in that. Austin Hubbard 375 on him. Just think that his ground game is like phenomenal. I think once he gets it there, he'll be as good a guy as Hubbard's ever been in the ground with, and that'll show. Oliveira minus 340. I agree with that. The guy, I think he's got wins. He's obviously got the wins over Lentz in the past. And I think Charles, the minute he looks in a really good spot. Tony Carlos Jr. minus 165. Ian Heinisch plus 145. So his lines came down from plus 185 to plus 145. So there's action coming in, picking him. Not saying I'm super confident to lay money down in it, but I think he's got a good shot. Luki against Derek Krantz. This was obviously supposed to be Neil Magny, and he got pulled out of the fight due to USADA suspension, I think is, or a findings in one of his tests. So he should roll over Derek Krantz, even though Derek Krantz is a very, very solid journeyman fighter and dangerous as well. But I like Luki. Still sticking with Megan Anderson against Felicia Spencer. I can't throw my money on Felicia Spencer, especially if I'm picking Megan Anderson to win. Don't really want anything on that fight. And like I said, Ladd, minus 310, that's too high. I think she should be minus 200 at a push, maybe minus 250 in that range, minus 200 to minus maybe 250. But minus 310 is a bit big. Eubanks plus 255. She kind of interests me in DraftKings a little bit. Cheap. Might go 15 minutes, make some points. So that's kind of what I've put my attention to in the last couple of hours is the DraftKings. So, yeah, interesting. If you guys get any, bets or anything at all? What's up, Matthew? Arisek, watch KSW. I won't be watching KSW because I'll be working, unfortunately. So, yeah, that sucks. I have to work literally all through the afternoon until midnight, probably. So, unfortunately, I won't be watching. I'll hopefully try and catch up on Sunday with some of the fights, but we'll see. I might as well talk about my bets, actually. So I've got two parlays for this card. My first one was originally a 3-man parlay, and it was Vicente Luque minus 300 over Neil Magny, parlayed with Davy Hamos minus 300, parlayed with Julio Arce minus 350. I was pretty super confident that was actually going to cash. Obviously, with Neil Magny, I think with Neil Magny pulling out, I think this one still cashes, but obviously I'm not getting that value of plus number probably, so that sucks a little. And my other parlay is actually Aspen Ladd and Charles Oliveira, minus 225 on Ladd and minus 300 on Oliveira for minus 108. That's the two bets I have. One of the prop bets that actually really interests me is this one, and I know in America you got a better line in this, but Julio Arce against Julian Erosa, so Arce to win by knockout or submission, really interests me, and it's minus 110 over here on Betfair right now, which I'm looking at, and really intrigues me. Like, I'm not a great prop bet, and I always say that, and as always, guys, I'm just here talking about betting, but it's your money. You have to within your means. Don't take my picks as gospel. Don't take my bets as gospel. For something you like, then want to play it, then go ahead. But just remember, it's your money at the end of the day. You have to be careful with betting, because I have seen people that went too far and lost themselves a lot of money chasing, and it's not good. But like I say, I call this the betting advice kind of show. I want to hear what you guys think. Get some advice from you and tell me what you're on and what you like, and if any of your predictions have kind of changed over. I want to say the last couple of days. KSW, is that in Gdansk? Got a funny feeling it's in Gdansk. I know I've got a couple of friends over in Poland that are there. They flew out yesterday and are out for KSW. So I had a couple of friends actually for the last one from Ireland as well, who 5 to 6 odds on 365 for that. Is that RC? 5 to 6, bet 365. Let's go and have a look. Bring that up. I just think RC's got so many tools over Julian Rosa that I think that he's gonna hurt him in the feet. There's that chin issue with Rosa. I think he's outgunned on the ground as well. And yeah, I just there we go. -120 method of victory. Yeah, I like that bet. That could be a bet for me. Yeah, that could definitely be a bet for me. I have to thing is I've got money on RC already, so it's a little bit of a concern not to kind of have too much on him. So yeah, like I say, looking at prop bets, if you're looking at a couple of flyers, what was the fight I was looking at earlier on actually? What was it? Yeah, I think it was that one. Was it Dos Anjos? There we go. Yeah, I actually think I see a lot of value if you're picking. I don't think Dos Anjos by decision kind of interests me. I know I'm picking Kevin Lee, but I like Rafael Dos Anjos by decision as well. +220 I see over here in the UK. That's something I really like. I don't know why. Like I said, as the weeks went on, I've kind of more on the side of RDA coming into it. Obviously, I always kind of stick with my original picks. But that fight is kind of interesting me. It's -110 a piece I see over here in the UK. So pick 'em odds. Really, really kind of interesting fight. I don't know how much of that fight card I'm going to watch because I have to be up super early on Sunday, sorry. So is there any kind of prop bets, parlays that you guys have got on? Anything that you like? Anything that kind of catches your eye, but you're not sure whether to bet it or not? Or like I said, I don't really look into prop bets too much because I am a shocking prop better. What was the other one I was actually looking at? Was it Aspen Lad? Aspen Lad by TKO. I know that she won not super decisively against Eubanks in the first fight, but it's not even a good number. Aspen Lad by KO or submission +200. Aspen Lad by KO or decision. Nah, not really even worth that either. Yeah. Like I say, it's something I'm going to look into a little bit more. It's like this week I've kind of took my eye off the ball a little bit for the simple fact of being back at work, compared to last week when I was off and I was looking in, was fully immersed into all the fights and looking at the betting lines daily. I've not kind of been like that. It didn't really work out for me last week. How much did I lose last week? So 2.5 units. So a couple of £100 was how much I lost last week. So not a huge loss considering the week before I was up 700-800 quid. So yeah, but still bad enough. Like I took shots on underdogs last week, just didn't really pan out. Anderson Silva, that wasn't very good. Moraes was Sergio Moraes was one of my worst bets I think I'll have this year. He looked terrible, and Wally Alves really ran through him. I had the parlay of Bernardo and Aldana, but obviously the Bernardo fight got pulled. Gatto got pulled, so that was just a straight pick on Irene Aldana, and she got the finish, and she was up in all the judges' scorecards, so that was a good one. And the other bet I kind of had was Thiago Alves over Staropoli, and Staropoli looks good. I keep fading him, and I keep losing money on him, so that'll be the last of that. And the bet that kind of saved my night, I think I got a little bit lucky in this as well, is Hayoni rounds 1 and 2. I thought it was a little bit of a kind of bad, not a bad stoppage. I think he could have let that go with like 10, 15 seconds to go in that second round. And I parlayed that up with Douglas Lima to beat Michael Venom Page minus 250. So that was plus 120 in that parlay for a 3-unit haul. So that was nice. But yeah, this one's a bit of a toughie for me. I instantly saw parlays when you saw. I knew that people like Arce's line, Ramos's line, Luke's line, Oliveira's line was going to go higher. I thought Aspen Ladd might have stayed around about the same minus 225. Like I said, minus 200 to minus 250. So that's why I got on there pretty early at minus 225. But I definitely thought Oliveira, Arce, Ramos, Luke, all those lines were going to go up, and they took off. Like I said, Arce's minus 730, and Ramos, I think, is minus 460. So big favourites there, and I got line value on that. So yeah, but like I say, I always look for dogs. Underdogs is one of the things I always look in, and I've got no confidence in I've not picked that many underdogs this week either. To be fair, Cummins and Heinisch, I just don't feel super confident enough to lay money on them. So Pat Cummins by decision and Lee Win parlay. I cannot bet that Pat Cummins fight. No way. No way. Even though the guy's a tough dude, gets hit a lot. I mean, he just gets hit far too much for my liking. I'm on Bet365 right now, but Pat Cummins by decision plus one. I said I need more value for that. Pat Cummins by decision or technical decision plus 105. Nah, I would need a little bit more than that. I would rather take the shot on Ed Herman by TKO or submission plus 450. That's where I would rather go. Probably betting actually not to bet this fight, but I wouldn't bet this fight personally. But that's just my perspective on it. If I was to probably take a bet on this, it'd probably be that bet there. Ed Herman by TKO or submission. Plus 450 is a good number. But like I say, I want none of that fight. Yeah. So what we got after this? We've got the Sweden card, not next week, but the 1st of June. So that's an interesting card. I like one play in that already, but I just haven't got lines on it. These nuts. Demir Hadzovic, but I think his line's going to be very, very big. So yeah. Who's your most confident pick for this week? Like outside, who's your most confident pick outside the massive betting favourites that I think, except for like your desk greens, your RC, Loki, what else? What's your most confident kind of pick outside of the big line money favourites? That's a tough one for me. I was going to say Megan Anderson there. I'm pretty high on Megan Anderson, but a lot of people are very, very high on Felicia Spencer this week. But that feels even wrong saying I'm high on Megan Anderson. Danny Roberts, that's who it would be. Even though he's quite a big betting favourite, minus 255, I'd be more confident in him outside of the big money favourites, in my opinion. What is he by knockout, by the way? That might not be a bad bet. Danny Roberts, Michelle Pereira. Plus 120. I need a little bit more for that. Deontay Wilder minus 800. Dominic Breazeale plus 500. Just caught my eye there. I don't think Gus' line stays there for long. I'm actually pretty confident in what is his line? Sorry. Alexander Gustafsson minus 270. Oh, I actually thought it was lower than that. I would like Alex round about minus 200. I would think of would I think of a bet on at that price? Maybe it's a part of a parlay. The thing that put me off with this fight straight off was the fact that Anthony Smith had just faced John Jones. I think it was like 10 days later they announced that he's in this fight, and he went on Ariel Helwani's show and he said that it was more his manager and that accepted the fight, and I was like, eesh, I know it's a main event sport and everything. Just didn't like that. Just looking at the Sweden odds there, actually. Plus 160 for Latifi, minus 195 Ozdemir. I think that could be lined a little bit closer. Fishgold, minus 135, plus 105 for Amir Khani. That's one of the ones I'm looking forward to looking at because I really like Chris Fishgold, actually. Tonya Evinger, minus 170, Lena Landsberg, plus 140. That could be a good fight for Tonya Evinger. I don't think this line's right. What do you guys think of this line? Alexander Rakic, minus 240. And he was high. He was like minus 260. Jimmy Manoa, plus 180. I think that line's off. I would definitely make Rakic a favourite. But I would have him like minus 150. And I would probably have Jimmy Manoa maybe plus 130. Plus 140 maybe. I think that line's a little off. And Leonardo Santos plus 240, Stevie Ray plus 180. I think that line should be a little bit closer. I don't know why that's so big either. And then looking at UFC 238, which looks a great card, by the way. Peter Yan, to me, I think, minus 290 against the tough guy. I think I'll probably use him in a parlay. I don't understand why Tai Tuivasa is like minus 190 against Blagoy. I think there's actually good value in Calvin Kattar. Donald Cerrone, an underdog again. That's always interesting to me. So, yeah, looking forward to that card. Trezano wins for sure. I think I'm with you there, Sherman. I really like Trezano this week. I think people are putting a lot of stock into Grant Dawson. And like I said in my prediction video, it was like super... like I was a fan of this guy. I said years ago this guy should be in the UFC, and obviously had his layoff with USADA and so on. And I really liked his game, but he's like very, very, very heavy on his wrestling. And if he can't get that off to good effect in this one, he's going to get beat up in the feet, and he's going to be coming in so aggressive that he's going to get caught with shots. But I think he's a good wrestler, but I think he's still sloppy with it. He reaches in, he kind of goes for just wrestling over everything else and just leaves himself open. So, yeah, I'm kind of with you there. I think Trezano wins. I would like that. If that might be a bet I make. Is Mike Trezano, if that fight gets close to, say, like a pick'em odds, like he's minus 130 right now. If that got to minus 110, I think that might catch my attention a little bit. Especially plus money. I don't think it'll ever get to plus money, but minus 110 might kind of catch my attention and might possibly get a bet out of me because I've got previous betting Mike Trezano's. So yeah. Yeah. You guys see the schedule for 2019? The rest of the schedule for the year after this one? All the way up to Christmas, there's literally 5 weeks off. That's some craziness right there. 5 weeks off from June to the end of December. Craziness. It's going to be a lot of fights, a lot of breakdowns. So yeah, looking forward to that. Guys, if you get any questions, if you've got any bets that you should be telling about that I should be getting on, let me know. I want to know. Davy Hamos is going to be top 10 soon. I think he needs better caliber opponents than what he's getting. I think he needs a couple of these bigger kind of wins, not over newcomers, because Nick Hines not going to do much for you. Austin Hubbard's definitely not going to do one for you. I think he definitely needs these kind of better kind of opponents, but at the end of the day, you've got to beat who's in front of you. And this is the guy who's come in here and he's got his opportunity to try and beat Hamos, but Hamos needs to get that, in my opinion, he has to get that better caliber opponent than what he's fought already, because I don't think he's a young guy, is he? Mid-30s, mid-32, so, but he's wins Grutzmacher, Nick Hine, John Gunther. You need better wins than that. Austin Hubbard, you need better caliber opposition than that, in my opinion. But you beat who's put in front of you, really. So, and he's looked good, especially his last 3 fights. He's looked fantastic. His last couple of ones, especially getting them out there in the first round. So, bet Ramos at minus 375. I got him at minus 300. I like that number. I thought there's still super value in that number actually when I got him at minus 300, because I thought he would finish minus 400, but it might even finish minus 500. Like I say, there's a lot of lines here that are a wee bit kind of ridiculous. The only line I truly really agree with, where I think that the odds are justified, is Julio Arce. Like I say, I don't understand. I've seen a couple of people on Julian Rosa, which was a little bit weird to me. Like I say, I think the Aspen Lad line's a little bit high. Oliveira, I think, probably justify being round about that, and he's beat the guy a couple of times before. Like I say, the Charles Green one, I like this Jordan kid, and I've said it already tonight. I said it in the prediction video I did on Monday. I just think he's going to be a fun fighter to watch, and if they bring him through properly, then I think he's going to be fairly decent to watch. So, yeah, Luki minus 800. I don't know what he opened. I think he opened minus 500. But where he is now is, in my opinion. So, yeah, I actually think it's a well-matched card. And they've got some newcomers, obviously, with Jordan and Pereira and Hubbard. Like, they've got some fairly decent ones. Felicia Spencer. Like I say, I think she needs to drop down to 135, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion, so. What's up, guys? Nice haircut, yeah, it was needed. It was definitely needed. I got lazy after my couple of weeks off. I literally spent all the time with my daughter, and the barber's wasn't no more than 5 minutes walk away. Holy shit, I actually just noticed there the big bald spot. Getting old. So, what line do I think is most off on this card? What line do I think is off? I actually think Aspen Lad line's a wee bit off. I do think that. And maybe Desmond Green, but maybe I'm just looking too much into this Charles kid and really like him. I think if I was looking at lines, I think Aspen Lads is off. Maybe minus 200 to minus 250 is where she's at. Maybe close at your minus 200. Like I said, I bet Aspen Lad at minus 225. I thought it would finish a little bit higher than that, but I could have seen it maybe going to minus 200 as well. So, yeah. Only straight bet is Heinisch. Yeah, I looked at Heinisch when he was minus 175 or minus 185 actually. But like, I don't know what it is. I just cannot put money down on him after one UFC fight. So, but I'm picking him. I think he's got a good chance. Anthony Smith is trash. I think I think Anthony's did well for himself, but I think now you're in here with the big guys. Going to Sweden. I know how much that Alex is humongous out there. So that's a tough gig. There's okay props on RDA inside the distance. You probably weren't in here, but I was like, I've picked Kevin Lee, but as the weeks went on, I've actually really started to like RDA a little bit. I think I looked too much into Kevin Lee and maybe not enough into RDA. So, yeah, I think Dos Anjos is actually a pretty good bet. I think now it's a pick 'em. If you're on whatever side you're on, you're going to get value. You're going to get good, depending on how much you bet on it. You're going to get a good bet. Just depends how you see the fight going. But like I say, it's a good fight. I'm interested to see. I saw Kevin Lee's got the man bun, which yeah, not too sure about that. Pretty sure Jones. Yeah, that was a weird performance. John Jones does that sometimes. He really does. Like when I was going to when I was scheduled to go and watch him against DC2, and then obviously DC got pulled with injury and OSP came out. Like I was sat in the crowd at the MGM, and everybody around about me thought he was just taking it easy and not even getting out of second gear. And I thought that against OSP, and it's kind of seemed like that against Anthony Smith. Like he kind of fights him, but when you get those higher caliber guys like your Gus and DC, then he really does bring the magic that he's kind of known for. But when he fights those Smiths, who was the other guy, like St. Preux, then he really he kind of fights to his caliber his opponent a little bit and just doesn't fight as much of a as hard as he kind of usually does. I'm interested to see him against Thiago Santos because Santos is dangerous, but I just think it's hard to pick against John Jones. So yeah. Yeah. I know I've spoken to Kevin Lee personally. I spoke to him. He was the guest fighter in Glasgow. And by the way, him and what's his name, Kamaru Usman, they were both there that week. And like for welterweights, Usman is humongous compared to Kevin Lee. But getting back to Kevin Lee, we're talking about like how bad his weight cut is and so on and so on. He says he would go to 170, and I didn't think it would be this early on, but losing to Earls kind of pushed the boat out a little bit. But like he says, like he was really wanting that 165 division. I still think it's a division that needs to be brought in. There's a lot of good fights, and a lot of good fighters would make the move from both kind of 155, 170. But yeah, he was telling me like how his body shuts down trying 155, and I think that was before the Tony video him today, like how he couldn't like get himself to sweat for that fight, and yeah. What's up, Eric? Hope everything's good, man. Jones needs to fight Ngannou. That'd be interesting. That'd be interesting. It's ever going to happen anytime soon. I like the fact that he's taking on this new batch of fighters. Who do you think is bigger? All right, that's interesting. Probably Till. Like Usman is really thick set, but like Till is very tall, quite wide himself. So probably Darren Till. Yeah, but I think that Usman has more kind of dedication to sport than what Darren Till has. Darren Till's like a really cool dude. Really nice guy. I remember him when he was main eventing against Wonderboy. I'm not kidding you, he stayed and took pictures, I want to say, with at least 500 people. It was crazy at the open workout. So fair play to the guy. I can't pick my head against Jones. I think the wrestling and grappling. Yeah, there's a big style disadvantage really for Santos. He has to come out and throw bombs. He has to open himself up, which Jones is just going to capitalise with takedowns, and he should honestly submit this guy, I think, inside the first 10 minutes of the fight. I'd be surprised if Maheta had much success against him, because John Jones isn't stupid. He's not a stupid fighter. Yeah, John Jones is a big dude. There's nothing to him. He's just all obviously bones. But like big for when I was talking about 197 beforehand, he had his brothers there, and Art's huge. He's a big, wide dude. Chandler Jones is like really big, looks an athletic freak. So yeah, I think I've said this before. I think the nicest Jones out of all of them is Papa Jones. John Jones's dad is one of the nicest guys. He really is. Sometimes I wonder how he like John does the shit he does with like a dad as so nice as him. So, um, but like it was quite funny because Arthur Jones was, I think he hurt his knee, obviously previously in the NFL the previous season, and he had to get surgery, and he was flying around in one of these like knee type buggy type things, and it was interesting. Everybody was taking pictures of him, and when they were taking that, they were taking the piss out of him in his knee buggy and stuff like that. But then at the end of the night, John Jones was actually using that because against OSP, I think he used a lot of leg kicks and hurt his foot, which is something that always kind of happens with John Jones. But yeah, I don't know what I might do actually. Is I might go. I'll have a look at that actually. Where people are betting. I'm going on to bet MMA tips, and I'm checking what people are really betting this week and what they are seeing. Not that you should take that for because people just kind of go with the kind of mush sometimes. So, but UFC Rochester. Yeah, so there is a lot of people on Kevin Lee. There is loads of people on Ian Heinisch. Oh, I didn't think. I thought he might be popular. I didn't think he'd be that popular betting wise. There's lots of people in Trevin Giles as well. I can see that, and he was plus money. I wouldn't bet him at minus 145, 150 now. Grant Dawson's starting to get more of the line share of bets here. I see as well. Oh wow, there's a lot of people actually on. A lot of people on Megan Anderson, surprisingly enough. Interesting. But straight betting, there's not much. There's obviously a lot of heavy, favourites this week, so they're being parlayed up, which I agree with. I'm on that boat as well, so I can't say anything. Sorry, guys. I think Ngannou beats GDS. I'm with you in that. Yeah, I love GDS though. Big fan. I got wrecked 6 of 12. Yeah, I had a bad card for 237. Of course, I went and picked Volkanovski, but didn't bet him. Went and bet Anderson Silva instead. Just my luck. Andrade, like I said, I thought Rose actually fought a really good fight, but she made a mistake of holding on to that too long and paying the ultimate price for it. So yeah, I'm crazy to think Rafael dos Anjos is going to starch Lee maybe. Yeah, I don't think you're crazy. I think dos Anjos is a former world champion, and yeah, I think that, like I say, he's a former world champion. And look at the guys that he loses to; they're all world champions. So, and Kevin Lee, he's not like a boxing guru. He's more a grappler. Dos Anjos can definitely match him on the feet, can hurt him with leg kicks. So yeah, and like Mr. Fishrat says there, Lee does fade a little bit. So maybe those late props taking the 4th and 5th round. I don't know what the props are actually. Let me have a peek. So just say Dos Anjos to win round 4 plus 2,000, round 5 plus 330, plus 3,300. Actually, one of the bets I used to like doing, especially with prop bets, is say Dos Anjos in rounds 4 or 5 or decision. We get that in the UK. I don't know if you guys in America get that, but that's one of the bets I used to like putting on, was to win by in rounds 4, 5 or decision. I usually get good odds on that as well. Haven't did that in a while. What's up, Tony? I need a lot of help in this car. I don't recognise a lot of fighters. What fighters don't you recognise? A lot of the newcomers, or after the Rosa fight, I cannot pick Dawson against a much better striker. Yeah, I'm with you. He looks sloppy. He looks so sloppy against Julian Rosa. Put himself in so many bad positions as well. That I just like Trezano as a really good, consistent, well-rounded guy that I think beats Dawson. So, like I say, if that number gets to minus 110, then I'll have a closer look at Mike Trezano. But I think there's going to be a lot of money coming in Grant Dawson soon, just from a couple of things that I've heard. So that line might get really, really close soon. There's some big bettors ready to go in on Grant Dawson. So, yeah. Late round finish, probably my best earners ever. Overall, yeah. Yep. I really think Cowboy is better than Ferguson. I'm gonna pick Donald Cerrone in that fight. I think this is a perfect opportunity to get at Tony Ferguson after everything he's went through. Obviously, the short notice isn't great, isn't ideal, but I think Cowboy can get him. I really do. I'm really interested in that fight. I cannot wait for that Cowboy Ferguson fight, by the way. Is Antonio Carlos Jr. a good pick? I don't think so. Like I said, I picked Heinisch, and I've been a fan of Carlos Jr. before. I've bet him in spots before. I'm not betting him in this spot. I don't think I've seen enough of Ian Heinisch to lay money down on him, in my opinion. That's just for me. I need to see more of him. But I think he's got a good chance against Carlos Jr. here. You don't think Cowboy can beat Tony? I don't know. I think Cowboy's in his spot. He knows this is his kind of last run. And he needs to make this one count. And he beats Tony Ferguson here. He's right in line. So, yeah. KSW picks. I've not really looked into it too much. For the simple reason that I won't be watching. But I think I like Scott Askham. Is there even odds out for KSW? That's it. Try to find the card for KSW. I think I went the wrong way. I have. KSW 49, there we go. Yeah, I think I like Scott Askham against Matella. Who else have we got in the card? Soldic. I'm a big fan of Soldic. Really, really big fan of Soldic. Carl Baydorf against Grabowski. I think we're going to go with Baydorf in that one. Erko Yoon. I like Erko Yoon to win that fight. Thiago Silva's fighting in that card. Interesting. Norman Park against Artur Savinsky. I like Norman Park there. Luis Enrique KGB's fighting KSW as well. That's interesting. Interesting too. Like I say, I wish I could watch KSW. Unfortunately. See, I picked Little Nog against Ryan Spann. I really don't rate Ryan Spann. I don't. But in hindsight, he was facing Little Nog, and maybe the fact that he was fighting in Brazil maybe played more into my mind than kind of anything else. I thought if he didn't get caught early on, I thought he might come in late in that fight, and obviously he got his arse knocked out. So it is what it is. Yeah. Cerrone at plus 150. I think you might get a better line on that. I'm extremely confident Roberts is going to spark the drunken Caparua Lema. That's funny. I agree there. I don't know how that guy got signed to the UFC. And I know my good friend is his manager, Danny Rubenstein, but yeah. The guy's a madman. The guy's an absolute madman. Getting signed to the UFC just because he does flips. I can do flips as well. Well, I could do back in the day, not anymore, but sign me. I'll take a 10K getting drubbing in the UFC if that's the case. But Danny Roberts is one of my favourite guys as well. Been watching him a long time. Come up in Cage Warriors. He really is one of the nicest dudes. I remember Glasgow where he's fighting Bobby Nash. He had Kamaru Usman as his cornerman there, and I had my daughter, I want to say 3 weeks beforehand, and he bought me like a gift pack of like essentials for babies and stuff, and it's just that was pretty nice. There was no need for him to do that, but like I said, I've known that guy for such a long time. Michelle Pereira. Tony, that's the guy you need to go and look for. Go on YouTube, put in Michelle Pereira, and you'll see this guy doing like thunder. You'll see him doing backflips and so on off the cage against like 2 and 3 Korean dudes. So yeah, I think because Joanna needs to win a fight. That's what Joanna needs to do. She wins a fight, then she should definitely call out JJ, because I think the UFC loved Joanna and Jacek and would give her a title shot if she wanted it. So yeah. What parlays have I got for New York? What's up, Quincy? I think I spotted them earlier on. Where are they? I had a three-man parlay, which I don't really like making, but I thought this is the kind of card for it. Sorry, I've lost my page where I had my picks. So the 3-man one was Luque, Davi Ramos, and Julio Arce. So like I was saying earlier on, I got Arce for minus 350. I got Ramos for minus 300, and I got Luque for minus 300 for plus 129. But obviously Luque's got taken out, so I've got Ramos and Arce left. And then the other one I have is Aspen Ladd at minus 225 and Charles Oliveira at minus 300 for minus 108. That's the parlays I have for this card right now. A little bit bummed about the Luque fight getting pulled because a high chance to cash that bet. I like when I do three team parlays or 3 fighter parlays, I'm usually pretty confident. I think the last one I actually did was, I want to say, the China card in Shanghai. Yeah, that was it. And that was pretty much the same. Minus 350s, minus 300. It was like Yan Xiaonan, Yadong Song, Weili Zhang. So that was the last ones I did kind of regarding that. And I don't usually like going above minus 300 with parlays if I'm doing 2-team parlays. If I'm doing 3-teamers, then I like to kind of throw that in. In fact, the last one I did, Actually, I just spotted another one there. It's Demir Ismagulov. He was minus 400. Kunchenko minus 300 and Tim Means minus 300. So I've actually did more than I kind of. In fact, there was one after that at UFC 232, which was Kevin Holland from the Japan card, the Shanghai card, or the Singapore card, whatever it was. John Jones at minus 250 against Gus, and Yudong Song minus 400 at plus 114. So that's, like I say, actually pretty decent with those 3-team parlays. So, yeah. Here's one of mine. RC, Roberts, Oliveira, Heinisch, Anderson. I could see that cashing. I was thinking Lad, Ramos, Green. I've spoke about Charles Jourdain on here a little bit. I quite like him. I think he's going to be a good fighter outside of this fight. I think that Des Green is just going to be a bit too strong for him. But would it surprise me if Charles really shocked him a little bit? I don't think so. So yeah, but ticket parlay: Heinisch, Truzano, Arce, Oliveira, Roberts, Green, Anderson, Ramos, Luque. Yeah, it's got a chance. It's got a good chance. I hope it cashes for you. All right. I think another couple of minutes, guys, and I'm going to head to bed. It's coming up to 2 a.m. Got to get my weary ass to bed and back up for work again tomorrow and Saturday before a few days off again. And I'm actually looking forward to having no fights to kind of look in. I am looking into the Stockholm card a little bit already, but no predictions to do this week. So I've got Zombie over Moicano. I don't know. Probably first thought was Moicano. Like I said, I'm not going to look into that fight yet, but yeah. Yeah, it's Serenity, guys. See, like with all the fights that have been announced, there was a load of ones. The fight card was made for, was it Sacramento? There was a lot of fights mentioned there or announced there. Is there any fights upcoming that you're thoroughly looking forward to watching? Really looking forward to? Kind of going through the cards. I'm not really looking at the Stockholm one because there's not much I'm looking forward to that catches my eye, but yeah, not much there. Obviously, UFC 230, I'm looking forward to Cejudo and Moraes. Great fight. That's a really good fight card. Obviously, Cerrone and Ferguson. Peter Yan. Love that dude. Really do. Obviously, looking forward to seeing Tatiana Suarez. Stalin against Munoz is going to be a good fight. Yeah, good fights. I think an interesting one's Andrea Leah against Montana De La Rosa. Just want to see where both girls are at. I'm looking forward to seeing Matt Wyman again. That's a blast from the past. That's a real blast from the past, Matt Wyman. Woodley against Lawler 2. I'm not really too fond of that main event. Formiga against Benavides catches my eye. Roosevelt Roberts has got a tough fight against Vince Pichel. Sergio Pettis against Ricardo Ramos. Interesting. UFC 239. Good fights all over there. Sugar Sean O'Malley. Blachowicz, Rockhold. Askren, Masvidal. Ngannou dos Santos. John Jones against Thiago Santos. Then the Sacramento card. Not really much there, actually. Calvillo's back. Ryan Hall against Darren Elkins. That's interesting. All the best, Eric. I'll see you soon, bro. Right, guys, I'm going to hit it. I'm going to bed for a long ass day. I'll probably put a little post on probably Friday with if you want to add your bets in or your most confident picks in, by all means. Thank you for joining me this late and very early into Friday morning, I should say, or wherever you're at, late in America or Canada, wherever you may be. Until UFC Stockholm, I will see you all very, very, very soon. Thank you very much for joining me in here, chatting in the chat there, which is always good. Until next time, guys, all the best, and I hope you do well in DraftKings. I hope you cash all your bets, and I hope those bets and doing half decent in DraftKings. So until then, all the best, and thank you very much again.